Good evening.
Good evening, Tony. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing good. Doing good. How about yourself?
So glad. I see you have Joshua Tree behind you. You're
I
always,
I do.
yeah, you always have. You're always coming to me from someplace else on the planet or in the universe, which is lovely, wonderful. I
Thank
will
you. It also keeps me from having to clean up the back of the room behind me.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, it's just bookcase here. So bookcases here. This house is so full of books and bookcases. It's ridiculous. Yes, I'm still with my mother and my sister in Georgia. Um, and I will probably be here until March. So it'll be about a 3-month hiatus, spending time with my mom and my family.
Right.
No, I need these. I'm to the point now where I literally need them all the time. This is so sad. It sucks to get old, but the alternative is worse. So we'll
Well,
just,
I went to grab my reading glasses and the lens went flying out of them. And I'm looking at Tree and I'm going, I won't be able to control the system without being able to see it. So luckily she got me a brand new pair, which I have right here.
oh, and that's what love is all about.
Yes, it is.
It is. I know. She takes good care of you and vice versa.
She does. I not a complaint in the world.
Wonderful. Well, I hope we don't have any tech issues tonight. It took us 3 times to get connected prior to the show. And I have my dear, sweet star sister, Deb DeRousse, joining us tonight. So, it just doesn't get better than that. It just
No,
doesn't.
it doesn't. It sure doesn't.
I miss her so much, and she's up in Michigan, and I'm down here in the South, and I can't go back to the frozen tundra till it thaws.
Right.
I will die.
I
And
don't blame you.
so, yeah. So, it's wonderful to see you. Don't go far because you might have to pick up while I unfreeze. You
You
know
got it.
that it's
I'll
I
be
don't
here.
know. I'm like all hooked up and hooked in, and still it happens, and I don't know. Sometimes I think it's my own energy because I do thousands of interviews and I never have a connection problem, even when I'm doing them overseas,
Wow.
like in Iceland or New Zealand or, Western Europe somewhere, which is pretty regular. And I never have a problem. I get on a World Awakening and all of a sudden I'm frozen solid. I don't get it. So I wonder sometimes, you know what I really wonder? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you know what? I don't trust the government any more than I could pick them up and throw them all.
Right.
So,
It's a
you know, I,
possibility.
I do sometimes wonder if my shows where I'm putting out some, rather controversial, provocative notions sometimes get interfered with.
That's a
Or,
possibility.
or
Absolutely a
it's
possibility.
or
Yeah.
it's just the way that the spirits and my galactic family let me know they're all around.
It's probably a combination of all of the above.
And it might be. It just might be. Okay, so I was filming. I was filming this week. One of my producers flew in from LA to Atlanta and got an Airbnb and gave me the address and said, come, it'll just be a few hours to do pickups and masters and stuff, all those words,
Right.
making film. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I'll just, we'll make arrangements for mom and make sure, all of her needs are met. And my sister Christine took me so that she could meet my producer friend, Serena. And we had an incident. We had an incident during filming. I don't know if it'll make the final cut of the film or not. And I don't know. I know there were two there were 2 cameras going. I saw the red light on one. I think the other one had turned off, but
Wow.
it was break time, and I had been really intensely focused for about an hour or so doing, the pickups and everything. And
Right.
I stood up, and it was as if I was in California and it just fell off into the Pacific. The whole house shifted right underneath me. I almost went down and landed. I actually caught the side of the chair I'd been sitting in to stop me, but I came within inches of taking over, 4D or whatever, 4K, whatever they're called, cameras, really expensive cameras. And, I was within a hair's breadth of leveling all of the equipment because I was falling. And it felt like the whole house shifted about a foot to the right underneath me. And then the room filled with lights. It looked like little diamonds just dancing in thin air. I mean, just dancing all around us. And she looked up and she said, "What is this? What is this? What's happening here? What's going on?" And I hope that the camera that still had the red light on caught
it.
what happened.
That would be amazing. Oh my gosh.
But, there was a whole crew there. I had 3 people that witnessed what happened.
Wow.
And even if we didn't capture it, they know what happened.
Right.
They know. They had that experience with me. And it was really exciting. And I said, maybe I should stop talking about them for a little while. You want to talk about something else? And she's like, "Oh, no. This is good. Let's keep going." So I had a cigarette and then I came back in and we finished. But anyway.
Incredible.
I know. Well, Tony, you've been with me enough to know weird shit happens with me. Like, stuff. It just does. It just does.
It does.
I'm all magical and stuff. And I never asked for it and it just happened and I don't know why. And then I just kind of run with it because, what are you going to do? Deb's magical too. We've got Deb DeRousse tonight. And what are we talking about, Tony? What are we talking about? Love. Our superpower.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you have Cherie, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful Valentine's Day. And so let's just bring Deb on and just have a love fest tonight.
Here she comes.
Hey.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Oh, I miss you. Something terrible.
Oh, I know. I
know.
I really wish that I could just feel you in my arms right now. But I feel you in every other way.
Right.
So
I feel you in my heart, and that's what is most important.
It is, and the thing is that, could you have put a more perfect backdrop up? Is it even possible?
It's all about love, right?
I know. Oh, I got a new backdrop.
One of my favorite tapestries.
It's beautiful. I just got one too. It was a gift I bought for myself for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God. Wait till you see it. You're going to want one. I'll get you one. I will. Next time I'm at the mall in Douglasville, I'll get you one.
Well, I have to tell everybody, you got me this. And I love this. I had to wear it tonight because we're together. And I just love it. You got this for me in Scotland. And it's warm and it's soft and it's so Annie. It is. When I put this on, I feel you. So thank you.
I carried it with me for weeks. The instant I told you when I gave it to you, the instant that I saw it, it's almost like it had your name on, like a Post-it note. This is for Deb, grabbed, put in the bag, pay in the bag. That's see, Beth knows. Well,
She's
Beth
so
has
sweet.
an artist's eye anyway.
She does.
She does.
She's so cute. I love her hair.
I know, me too. I love every square inch of her. The last time we were together, I mean, it was just She's so cuddly and sweet. I adore her. Okay, so anyway, all right. I'm breaking a cardinal rule before we get, we dive deep. I am breaking a cardinal rule. I am drinking Javalia dark roast coffee with hazelnut creamer in a Starbucks coffee.
Oh my goodness.
That's sacrilegious. But I can't help it because I just love the logo. I'm not even that fond of the coffee. I love the logo.
Well, I am drinking Donut Shop Keurig coffee in my skull travel cup.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
And it's it's crazy that we're drinking coffee this time of night.
I know, because then whenever I'm done with the show, I'm up. I am wide awake. I'm all revved up because of all the energy and the all of it. Mm-hmm. And my mind's racing 100 miles an hour. And I usually don't go to sleep until somewhere around 2 or 3 a.m. on Friday nights. I just don't. But, it was really, really important for me to have you on tonight. For one reason, because I want to tell people that we're pulling together a little thing like a fundraiser to help you with a situation not of your own making. So what we'll do is put all that information out, but I wanted to use tonight to at least talk a little bit about that, and we'll get there. We've got 2 hours. So I figure, closer to the end of the show, we're going to do a Zoom thing where a bunch of people can join us.
Oh, nice.
So it will be a wondrous experience. Aww. And I'm hoping that we can do it on Valentine's. But then on Valentine's, a lot of people that actually have lives, not like me, I've got my dog, but go do things together. And so we'll talk to you and we'll figure out what day is best next week for you and for me to pull this together. But we can talk about that situation a little later to the extent that you wish to share.
Okay.
But one of the reasons that I so desperately I feel like I'm in soul school when I'm with you.
Aww.
Like I'm in soul school. And we teach each other. We're each other's students. We're we have an equality based on a certain knowing about certain things that give us, it kind of levels the playing field in terms of there's nothing I can say that you don't get, and vice versa.
Absolutely. That's so true, Amy. It is the season. It really is. I mean, everybody's doing that right now. There's so many things going around. But I want to address something real quick. You're having all these techie problems every time you do your show lately.
Yep.
But you know what that tells me, and Michael Carter says this a lot when we try to do work together because we always have issues. It means we're doing something right.
I think so too.
You're getting some attention. And
maybe some of that I don't want. I know I was just talking with Tony about that, and I was like, maybe I'm being deliberately finagled with because I don't know. Sometimes I think that happens with Spectrum too. I'll be watching a news broadcast and suddenly something gets all scrambled that was perfectly fine 5 seconds ago until that story is over. It's all scrambled and then it goes back to being perfectly fine. And, I think it's legitimate to ask about. I really do. Because I know when George and I did our show, we had issues the same way, and it was just a blog talk radio show.
Right.
Yeah.
But
in fact,
sorry, started.
my My coffee went down the wrong hole, and I feel like I need to cough again, but I don't think I do. But it definitely went down my windpipe. No question about that.
Not good. Not good.
Yeah, not good. Well, it's the big cup, too much comes out at once. I need a more petite.
And it tastes so good with all that hazelnut in there.
I know, it does. It does.
That's my fave too.
Yeah.
I always have to have the hazelnut. Yes.
Well, we are, it's addictive is what it is. I mean, they made it that way on purpose. They did.
And we fall for it.
Yeah, and we fall for it. Okay, so here's the thing. I really, really didn't even know it because I booked you for this last week. I thought this would be a good idea for right around Valentine's if we did a show on higher love and being all heart and how that can be an asset and a liability. And, I had all these ideas swimming in my head, and there was one and only one person to bring on to have that conversation, and it was you. And then, so I got in touch with you last week and got you booked. And then the earthquake happened in Turkey and Syria. And a whole new onslaught in Ukraine. And I have spent the last 4, 5, 6 days with my head swimming in a mass of almost numb.
Right.
It's been so incredibly painful. And I was sitting out on the deck with my peanut butter cup on the warm day, which was yesterday, was the warm day. Oh, it was so nice. It wasn't. Oh, there's my baby. And I was just looking at her and watching the squirrels play in the trees and, waving to, I have one of my vessels actually stays positioned in the northern sky. And so it's always there. It's, I don't know why, but it always is. It doesn't matter where I am. As long as I look north, there it is. Right. And so I, and thanked them for coming as I always do, and waved, flashed them a peace sign, all my normal, regular stuff. And I looked up and I said, please lift me out of this malaise, because we have man-made disasters going on. We have natural disasters going on. I mean, between volcanoes and hurricanes and tsunamis and fires and flooding and tornadoes and earthquakes, it feels like something is happening on this planet that's different than it's ever felt in my lifetime. Now, I'm a student of history. I am well aware that life on planet Earth has always been tumultuous and a great deal of upheaval, and that the warring factions have existed for time immemorial. It's like this eternal conflict that goes on that we can't seem to overcome, where we can just love each other and not kill each other with such regularity, and so inured to the process that, I can't, I don't belong here. How many times have I told you that?
Right.
I don't belong here. And yet I know that I do.
You are so needed. And we can't, my heart is so with you, Annie. I feel the same way. My heart is
so broken. It's so broken.
Right. But
that's how the light gets in.
Yeah. And we have to stay in the love. Our world's a mess. We know not only, like you said, the natural disasters and the human BS going on and the politics and it's insane. But we can't give in to it because, and Annie, you say, I don't belong here. You do belong here. Now more than ever, this world needs you. We need to stay in that place of love and in that place of hope.
Yeah.
We really do, for everybody else, as hard as it sometimes is. Oftentimes, it's difficult. But here we are, and we're here because we're supposed to be here. Sad,
I know I didn't ask for this. I just know I didn't ask for this.
No, but you volunteered for it.
Oh, I don't think so. Not if I knew anything about what I was stepping into.
I know. But that's,
I mean, if I came in blind, completely ignorant, really as innocent as a baby, being born as a baby to my blessed and beautiful mother, that clean slate, and I didn't know. Thank you, Terry. You're so sweet. Yeah, we
love her.
We need you too, honey.
Yes.
Maybe. I guess it doesn't even matter how we got here. I mean, I'm here. I have stuff to do, and my producer the other day when I was finishing up this feature film, after 2 very long years of working on this pretty consistently over a couple of years, it should be out this summer, and I'm so looking forward to it. And I know that it's going to change a lot of things. It's going to broaden my horizons and my reach for these messages even more. And so, I'm so grateful to Tony Rathman and Bill, our general manager and producer. He produces your show as well on KGRA.
He's amazing.
He is an amazing man. And he's off gallivanting tonight. I think he's at a show in New York or something.
He is, yes. I'm so excited for him.
I know, I'm excited for him.
This break.
Should have brought tickets for us. We should have all. I wouldn't have gone to New York this time of year anyway.
Well, yeah, and he teased our show was on last night. Before the show, he was teasing us with clips of this cover band that he's going to see tonight. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, he should have gotten us tickets.
I know. Well, that's what I thought. Don't tell me unless you end the sentence with, and here's your ticket, And other than that, I don't want to hear it.
But he needed the vacation. So
he did. He did need a little break, probably from us. I mean, can you imagine week in and week out how many people, he interacts with and the whole...
Yeah.
KGRA is like a spiritual hub. It's a gathering place for like-minded mortals and, a real meeting of the minds kind of a network.
Absolutely.
And, I'm so proud to be affiliated with it.
I am as well. I love it.
Yep. I love it.
Absolutely love it.
But I also heard that your show tonight that you did was a smashing success.
Oh, well, thank you.
I heard that like 5 minutes before I hopped in.
Well,
it was phenomenal. And it was, I had asked Lenny, or I'd asked somebody to please post it on my wall, so I'm going to watch it myself when I can't sleep. Yep. See, we all migrated from
thank you for being
show. I love it. I love it. But I'm going to watch it later on tonight because I only saw like 2 minutes of it, and that was it.
Right.
But I'll let everybody know I'm going to reshare it on all my pages. So
thank you.
Get it out and about and around and all of that. But it really, the thing is that we support each other. There's a lot of women in the paranormal that are the unsung heroes that do so much of the footwork, the foot soldiers, I like to call us. And a lot of women who do great things and don't have the same kind of notoriety. They're just plugging along, doing it because it's their passion, it's their love. And it made me think, well, yesterday when I was sitting out on the deck and thinking about the situation in the world, Deb, it might sound a little cynical. Please forgive me if it does. But my mind went to, in spite of all this beauty around me and my little dog and the squirrels and the birdies and the lights in the sky and all of this, and all of a sudden,
Right.
I had this thought that came to me that I tried to expel from that particular period in soul school, where I was, kind of alone in the class, but not alone at all. And I realized that there were more than a few people in the world who say or have said, Ukraine is Ukraine's problem. They're on their own.
Yeah.
I've heard people say, why are we sending all these people to Turkey? Why? And all the money and all the food and all the water and all the expense of going over to help these people. It's not happening in my neighborhood. Let them take care of themselves. I've heard it.
Yeah.
And it literally makes me physically sick when I hear commentary like that from someone who proclaims themselves to be a human being or masquerades as such, because that's not my definition of a human being. My definition of a human being is someone who is compassionate and who is born of love and made of love and spreading love and being the light. And anything that falls short of that, just for me, just doesn't. And it occurred to me sitting there in the beauty of a warm winter day in Georgia, surrounded by nature and calm, that I was having that thought for a reason, Deb. Now tell me if you think I'm wrong. Okay? I mean, you know me. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I was having that thought for a reason, because immediately after I had that thought, I then thought, but there's more of us than them. And then I had this thought, but nothing's going to be right until the us and them are one. Nothing is going to be right until everyone understands that everything is one thing, the realization of oneness, the realization of the existence of cosmic consciousness, and the realization that we are all one race, and every one of us is each other's sister and brother. And until that happens, that toxic us or them mindset will continue to erode and eradicate humanity.
Yeah.
Because it breeds contempt and it breeds apathy, simply in a moral behavior where there is no line. Yeah. Anything goes in terms of the destruction of other human beings. And their lives and their families and their pets and their property and the nature around them is of zero matter to the aggressor.
Right.
Zero. Right. And then, I'm watching the news today, and my mother, I'll give you a second. Give me one more second.
Okay.
And then you can comment on all of it. Okay. I swear. I don't mean to hog time. I really don't.
That's fine.
These are the things that I really needed to talk to you about. And if it's bothering the hell out of me, then it's bothering the hell out of a lot of people that are watching this show.
Right.
So I was watching the news today, and they pulled a little boy out of the rubble. And well, actually, they had pulled him out yesterday, but they were showing the film footage of him again. And he came out of the rubble of what was a 10-story building with a bruise on him, on his leg, a scratch on his head. And he came out with a glory hallelujah. He was just a little kid, maybe 3 or 4 years old. But he realized something really bad has happened. I lived through it. They found me. I'm still alive. And he came out exuberant to see, to feel the cold on his face, to see light after being in the darkness for, 80 hours with no food or water. And he was so excited. He was literally embracing everyone that was passing him down the line to get him to the ambulance. And I was like, yeah, that's why. Yeah. That's why.
Amen.
That's why we go.
That is why. And that is why, boy, you got me right in the heart chakra, girl. Sorry. That is why we have to be more childlike. That's why we have to embrace that little boy and all little children on this planet and learn from them. He's not angry that he was there for 80 hours.
No.
He's not coming out of this in a negative way. He's embracing life. And that's what we all need to do. And of course, Annie, I agree with you 1000%. The whole us and them.
When it's we. We.
Right. It has to stop. Even from, and I've caught myself doing it, the division, those people.
Oh, I don't even want to know them.
And we can't. We are all one. Some people are evolving at different rates.
I just love them from a safe distance. That's all.
Right.
So I don't get anything toxic on me.
I have 2 young ladies in my home right now who have been through hell and back. Recently lost their mom. We'll talk about that another time, but
a little later in the show. Well, but now it's fine too. We've got 2 hours.
Seeing here is these 2 young women who, their mother was very matter of fact. She was a good friend of mine, and I would, me, I tell everybody that I love you. And that's a normal thing for me. I want to share that love. That is, love is the root of every good thing everywhere, not only on this planet, but the entire universe. And I would often tell her, I love you. And she'd say, stop. I don't say that. And she didn't. She said, how I feel. I don't have to say those words. Well, these young girls who have been through all of this and our special needs grew up not hearing I love you from their mother, not being embraced. And they've been with me, for about 3 weeks now. And of course, every day they get lots of hugs and lots of I love yous. And it's beautiful to see what that love is doing. And I'm not saying their mother didn't love them.
Of course
she
not.
did.
She did.
She did. But she was not comfortable with showing love. But now that they're receiving that openly, they're embracing the hugs. The hugs are getting so real. They grab on and they hold. And they're a lot like this little boy. They're so grateful to be pulled up out of the rubble. They're not seeing the negative. They're not seeing, oh, we've been through so much. This is so awful. They're seeing, there's light. There's love. Yeah. And they're starting to say, love you. I mean, even that little love you
Yeah.
is huge. So, I guess my point is with this entire universe, we cannot separate. That love has to, that's why you're so needed. That love has to be out there. We have to keep sharing. We are so intertwined with everything that is. And, it's like a big lake, a big ocean, and you have all these droplets of water. But together, look at the beauty it makes.
Yeah.
Now, you can splash that water and have droplets go here and there, but they return. And that it flows. And it's one. That's how it's supposed to be with all beings.
With all beings. And then, of course, I've forever used the metaphor of the pebble in the pond. Just the tiniest little impact sends out concentric circles of ripples that go all the way to every square inch of shoreline.
Right.
Even if that body of water is so large that you don't see the ripple when it gets to the shoreline, that energy wave is still moving until something stops it.
Absolutely.
And it's a wavelength, it's a frequency, love is an action word. It's a verb. It says it's a noun. It masquerades as a noun in the dictionary, but love is not a noun. Love is a verb. It is an action word. And when each one of us is, fully capable of tossing a pebble in the pond, holding the door for someone and smiling, walking up to someone and telling them you love their outfit, they look fabulous, and then just keep on walking. You have no idea what that energy has done for that individual. Yeah. You have no idea what, I was once speaking of little boys. One time, the strangest thing happened to me, Deb. I know I never told you about this, but I was here visiting, and I went into the public supermarket where my sister worked at the time, and was just doing some shopping. And there was a tall, statuesque, beautiful African-American woman standing at the deli counter. And she had a little tiny boy with her. He was no more than about maybe 5 or 6. And as I was walking around through the bakery toward the deli, he turned and he looked at me with a moment of recognition. And his eyes got wide, and he got this huge smile on his face, and he bolted from his mother's side and ran at me with his arms wide open and threw himself around my legs and squeezed them so tight. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He has never, ever done anything like this before. I don't understand. I said, it's okay. It's okay. It kind of happens to me all the time. Right. And she just kind of looked at me. I said, in different ways, and so I got down to his level. I got down on the floor and on my knees, and I touched his hair and his face, and I said, and what is your name? And he said, my name is Gabriel. And I said, you're the angel I've been waiting for. And his mother started crying. She's like, I named him for the angel Gabriel. How could you know that? And I mean, it was this thing that happened in the middle of a supermarket in front of the deli counter. It happened, and I was with them for like about 10 minutes. And I told him that he was strong and he was beautiful and he was going to leave this, make this world a better place. And there were great plans for him, and he was just so special. And this sweet, sweet little boy. And his mother's like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I said, you don't have to say anything. Just give me a hug. And so his mother and I are standing in the middle of the deli, hugging each other. He's got his arms wrapped around both sets of our legs to the best of his ability. And my sister comes walking over to me from the bakery where she was working. And she's like, why does this happen to you, Ann? What is going on? People, they know we're related. They're going to ask me about it after. I'm like, honey, I can't, and it's that. And
you're throwing beautiful love pebbles. That's what it is.
It is, but it's something that we choose to either withhold. It's there, I believe, in all of us.
Yeah.
But it's something that we either choose to withhold because we're afraid of being rejected or belittled, right. Or any number of other words, where aspersions are cast because you're different. Or you can just run with it. Don't choke on your water like I did on my coffee. Not good. Not good.
No.
And you can either put it out, come what may, mm-hmm. or you can withhold it and live a hollow life where you never ever experience what you could have in the very limited time that we've got here in Soul School.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So isn't every moment of our life, every word that we say, every thought we project, every action we take is a choice that we make in that split second.
Right. Absolutely.
But you can come into your day-to-day existence with not only the perception, but the intention of spreading love everywhere you go, regardless of everything else that's going on in the world. I am absolutely convinced that the only true measure of love is grief. It's the only true measure of it. It is incalculable, unquantifiable, immeasurable in any other way than the corresponding grief that comes with a profound loss. Right. Well, aren't the empaths screwed in this day and age, in these times?
Yeah.
Where it's all coming at once and you feel all of it.
But that's why it's even more important that we think about those pebbles that we throw and make sure they are pebbles of love before we throw them. Because there's a ton of, now that's pure love right there. That little princess. Babe. Hi, baby.
She's my baby. She's sweet.
And I totally lost that thought.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
No, you were talking about in these times
the babies
to continue to cast the pebbles.
Yeah. And if we're going to cast a pebble, is it going to be anger? Is it going to be sadness? Is it going to be a negative pebble that's going to create that wave of negativity that goes throughout our entire universe? Or are we going to, be careful and try to cast those pebbles of love? Mm-hmm. And that's, that's what you do, Annie. And that story with that little boy, that was a boulder. That was a boulder of love. And, that's going to affect him his entire life.
Yeah.
Really
and his mother.
And his mother. Yeah.
I'm sure she still tells people that story. It was incredible. It was incredible energy and an exchange, just absolutely beautiful exchange and engagement with strangers. But I don't think we're really strangers. I don't even like that word.
Right.
I like being called the Queen of High Strangeness. I'm okay with that. But Tenny dubbed me that. So, I've got to accept it and embrace it.
Right.
But the connotation is, you're foreign to me. I can't relate to you. I don't know you. Who are you? I don't want to know who you are. You're a stranger. Danger, danger, stranger, danger. No, I don't think that any of us are strangers, really. I really don't. Given just a moment or two with any individual that we encounter in life, I think it's best to be watchful and protective to, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to go up and try to make friends with somebody that's kind of, Freddy Krueger-ish. But they're few and far between. Most people, you can read people's vibes. And all of the empaths out there that are watching this show tonight, I'm telling you the truth. You can read the vibe of another person with ease. All you have to do is just look around them and see the color of their aura, or if there's a corona around them. If there's a corona around them, chances are really, really, really good to excellent that they're some kind of a hybrid, or they're, them down here hanging, which they do. Or if you just pick up on somebody's aura or their energy, you can, who to gravitate to naturally. And I don't mean you specifically personally. I mean all of us.
All of us.
Giving ourselves the opportunity to get to know one another and to be open to that experience. I always give people the benefit of the doubt and an opportunity to engage. And, unless they misbehave, it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Right.
We couldn't do the events that we do without having that mindset, Deb. We couldn't. When we gather together at the UFO Contact and there's 300 people or more, and everybody is in each other's arms and everybody is sharing ideas, and it's the most inspirational event. It really, truly is.
I know. I'm getting so excited about it. I really have to fill you in off air on some things.
Okay.
Because we haven't announced speakers yet, but.
Oh, I probably spoke out of school then.
Oh, no. I mean, everybody knows if there's Michigan UFO Contact, there's Andrea, right?
Okay.
I mean, come on. Okay. No, everybody, you're so loved. Oh. If I ever dreamt of doing it and not having you there, I think people would hurt me. But I would never dream of doing it and not having you there. So I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm getting super excited. And I feel kind of bad because I'm really behind this year. Normally by the first of the year, the tickets are out and speakers are being announced, and that just did not happen this year. And I was extremely stressed about. Well,
you had a lot come down on you all at once, honey.
Oh, yeah. A lot. Yeah. This whole year, from November, has been, a bit of a nightmare. But, it finally dawned on me, Deb, it's all happening exactly the way it's supposed to happen. Yeah. And if tickets were supposed to be out 3 weeks ago, they would have been. Yeah. They're out now. We will announce speakers. So, it's going to happen. And this is year 5.
I would know.
Be 6 if we didn't have the COVID.
If we didn't have, COVID screw us over.
But yeah, I'm excited and I'm ready. And I can't say a whole lot.
I know.
But it is September 22nd and 23rd. That I can say. And there are tickets available on Ticket Leap.
I do believe that my film will already be out, and so maybe we can show it while we're there, because it's all about the galactic family. The whole movie is about that.
Oh, nice. Yes. We'll
that would be
have
fun.
A movie time.
Well, yeah, all I have to do is just, tell them, not ask, but tell them that I would need a copy sent to you, and okay.
Sounds wonderful. I would love that. I would love that.
Yes, it would be wonderful. Yeah. Love. It's the thing that makes me all the time say that love is our superpower is because it takes us to a different place. And when I lecture about the galactic family, I always talk about higher love and my connection with my off-planet family, our off-planet family. And I do believe that's true of all of us in the human race. You know, they are us, we are them, and together we are one. Existence, consciousness. No, it's a beautiful thing. But I call it higher love because it's not a sensation that I feel for anybody, not even my own family. And I couldn't possibly adore my family more than I do.
Right.
But what I feel for them when I look into the sky and I get a few little flashes like winks, like, yeah, we're right here, babe. Right here. Got your back. It fills me with a sensation that is literally indescribable. It's just another level.
Yeah.
It's another level of love and connection that is very, very difficult to describe. And I have one connection here on earth where I feel that sensation. And, you know, I don't even know what to do about it. So I do nothing about it. I just do nothing about it. I just let it be higher love with one, you know, soul masquerading as a human being. But star soul, truly. But higher love is something that I think that we should all.
Uh-oh. I don't know if it's me or you, but I can't hear you. Oh,
I think she might have froze up.
Uh-oh. Darn it,
Yeah.
Andrea. Right when we were getting deep.
Right. She was just about to give a profound statement of what she,
of course,
what she's feeling. I'm sure it'll unfreeze or she's still frozen. So I guess we'll wait and see. And I can't continue her sentence because I don't know what she was about to say.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There she is.
You know what? Sometimes, Tony, you know what I've noticed? If that happens and you pop in, everything comes back. And I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand much about tech. But yeah, if it happens again, just hop in on the screen. And for some reason, it just brings us all back.
You got it.
Oh, but I can't hear her again.
Yep. Yeah, her audio went out. She froze again.
Oh, dear. So we might have a little higher love and have to end the show early, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was feeling kind of confident because we started out with concerns and they went away. And I'm thinking, okay, good. Everything seems to be going.
She's moving. Well, she was.
Yeah, she was back.
Talk, Annie.
Hi.
Oh, we can hear you now, too.
Okay, good. That's great. Isn't that so strange? 2
times your audio went first and then you froze and that was that.
Very odd. It's so odd. But what were we talking about?
Higher love.
Higher love. Yeah. Higher love. So, you know, I don't know. I just think that there's sometimes they just let us know.
Yeah.
I think we just have to ride with it. I mean, shit, if it can happen on CNN, it can happen to us. It's fine. You know, thank God the whole freaking internet didn't go down when COVID hit and everyone was on it at once.
Yeah, everybody was doing lives. But, you know, I feel, and I kind of I think you feel the same way, that we are evolving toward that higher love.
Yes.
And that is the main goal. The whole galactic goal is to bring us all to that place of the higher love. And it's, as you said, a love that we can't really describe. It's that total connection, feeling just totally, it's very unconditional. It's very pure. It's a higher love. I don't even know how else to say it.
It's a higher state of consciousness.
It is.
I think,
yeah.
Okay, so I just
Fifth
saw
dimension.
a vessel go across my screen. I just saw a vessel cut across my screen. A little zzz of light and poof.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, now I think we know who to blame for this.
Yes. We love them.
Yes, we do.
That higher love, and that's where we get it. And they're taking us to the fifth dimension. And what is the fifth dimension all about? Love.
Yeah. Well, apparently
so we're learning
in and out of it.
Yeah. But that's, I think that's why, we don't feel that love all the time for all the people, but we know that love.
Yes.
Because we're learning it and we're coming into it.
That's perfectly stated. Yeah. We know that love. We know it. And when we have it, when we feel it, we recognize its source.
Yeah.
And that is the most beautiful, beautiful part of life.
Yeah.
It is joy. It's blissful. There aren't enough words in this language to express the sensation which accompanies it, right?
Right. It's not about the words. It's about the feeling. It's about the knowing and just being there. And yeah. I mean, when I even think about that higher love, I get goosebumps that start down at my toes and come all the way up. Do you ever get that? And I also get this thing, and I think it's, our galactic family that does this, but I get like bubbles inside.
Yeah,
do you ever get
bubbles
the
inside? And I get the same sensation, but it starts at my crown and moves down.
The bubbles do for me. The goosebumps start down, the bubbles start up. It's like you can feel them come in your crown chakra.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. I've been having incidents recently, like the one I told you about filming the other day. And, a couple of other things have happened recently. And I had a really major incident when I was at the Starworks Symposium in November, and Tony was there with me. Tony, are you having dinner? Are you watching TV? Are you?
I'm here. No, I'm responding to chat. I'm making sure you're not freezing up. No, I'm right here.
He's a busy man.
Great. Okay, so Tony was at Starworks with me in November, and I had an incident which occurred, and I came downstairs, and he was sitting downstairs, and he turned around and looked at me as I came out of the elevators, like he could feel my presence there before he actually knew I was there, and he could see me. And when he saw me, he knew something huge had happened. And I wanted to talk to Deb about that tonight, Tony. I'll just let you recap the story. I can always fill her in on all the details later, but give her a general overview.
Sure.
Because you had suggested that maybe that this was a test, and I want her opinion about it.
Absolutely. So yeah, I was already down in the casino, and I literally could feel her behind me. And when I looked, she had just stepped out of the elevator and had just come around the corner. But she had a look on her face that is one I normally didn't recognize, and I could tell something was up. I had no idea what. But as she walked forward towards me, she said, "I got to tell you what occurred." And I said, "Okay, let's hear it." And I think we talked, a good hour or maybe even more down on the casino floor. But she was explaining to me that she didn't believe, or she wasn't sure if she was asleep or if she was conscious. She just knew that she was getting this message, and she went into detail explaining that something had touched her leg, and when she turned around, it was like a small 2 foot, 2.5, 3 foot extraterrestrial that was like just clinging to her for attention. And so she picked it up, put it in her arms, and she's like, I ran faster and harder than I've ever run before. And she said, I don't remember each stage, but I was running towards the farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she arrived at the farmhouse, I can't remember if you were inside yet or not. I think you said you went inside.
No, I was outside. I never went inside.
Outside? Okay. She was still outside, and all of these officers and other agents and everything were literally telling her, give him up. He's got to come with us. And she's like, no, I'm not giving him up. And she was explaining to me that the overwhelming feeling of having to protect and defend this little creature. I shouldn't have said that. That was a bad choice of words. This little life form was her strongest commitment, and she was not going to let it go under any circumstances. So I think that's an overview. I'll let you continue from there.
Yeah,
Wow.
I had this, one of the people that was approaching, and it was different. Nobody had guns drawn. There were no weapons at all. The house was white, like it was when we lived there. It had the front porch, like when we lived there. So at first I thought maybe this was a deep-seated kind of a memory or, experience that I had. I was driving an older car. He grabbed onto me. I thought he was a dog running, because I was running because there were lights in the sky everywhere. And I was running to get to the bridge between Harrisville and Pasco, the two villages. And that's when he grabbed me. And it was kind of like an ET moment, like he had been left behind, or he was lost, or he was terrified. He was scared out of his mind. And I felt like if I ran to the farm, if I got him to the farm, even though my car, all the electrical stuff in the car had died, I had to pull the car off the road. The battery, everything, all the electronics just died, and I had to pull the car off the road. And when I got out, that's when he came to me. And I ran all the way to the farm, which is a couple of miles. It's like several miles from the village and when I was up there, there was this one woman. She had very dark hair, and it was slicked back. It was very like a severe look, and she had a cap on, and she's coming to me, and she's like walking up to me, and she was the one that was closest. And all of a sudden, I willed myself. I put my hand out, out, and just almost this plasma energy that was translucent. I could see right through it. Just made a dome over the two of us. And as she came up to it, she couldn't, it was impenetrable. And she backed off what is it? She was confused. She was upset because I could feel her feeling of empathy for this beautiful little being in my arms. And I could see the vessels that were all over the sky above the farm. And all I remember as it ended was looking up, and I know that I was able to give him, that he was being returned and that he would not be touched by anybody else on the planet. And at first I thought, well, when I woke up, both of my legs were in complete total spasm from my toes to my hips. Complete spasm, like solid rods of steel. The pain was overwhelming. I was in a suite with my father. He was way over on the other side, and I woke him yelling in pain. And my arm, where I had been holding him, this muscle was in spasm too. When I got up and I stood up off the bed, I grabbed my cigarettes, I grabbed my room key, I threw my little coat on, and I walked out of the room. I holding the wall to hold me upright. By the time I was halfway down the hallway to the elevator, all the pain was gone, completely gone. And so this is what I hit Tony with when I walked down into the casino. And I said, you know, I knew something would happen while I was here, because something always does every time I go to Starworks. But I got to tell you, that really threw me, Deb. It really did. I didn't know if it was a dream, if it was a vision, if it was a test, if it was
a memory.
A memory. I don't know what it was. I never saw a mirror, so I couldn't identify how old I was. And the car that I was driving was it was an old Audi or something. We never had one of those. So I don't know why I was in that car, or why all of a sudden everything browned out and then died. And I had to, literally with no power steering, push, the car off the side of the road. But it was definitely, I don't know if you ever saw the movie, The Last Mimsy, but there's this kind of a force field that's represented in that film. It was not the same. It was actually clear, mostly clear. It didn't have any, color to it or anything. It was just energy. It was just energy.
Yeah. And I could see it as you were describing it. I could see the energy.
Like, just, look behind you on, that line around the atmosphere on the planet of the world, the world. It was kind of like that. And in a dome. And I know that he was rescued, and I know that he was fine. And I know that all of his terror was gone, because he knew that I was taking care of him. And it was very profound, but it also really shook me. Now, I've had a lot of experiences. And Tony's like, I think that was a test. They wanted to know if they put you in a familiar situation, in a familiar place, what would you do? How would you step up?
That's the question I don't think I ever asked you, but after having that experience, how did you feel after? I mean, did you feel like what you did was right, that you helped? Did you feel a sense of relief? What were you feeling after you, because you just said, well, I knew he was safe, knew he wouldn't be bothered anymore. How did you feel about what you did and what occurred?
I felt like a very responsible parent. Isn't that strange?
No, not at all.
No.
I did the right thing by my baby, even if I had to give him back to the stars.
Yeah. That's why I feel it was probably on the test side, where they very easily could have put that all into your mind to see how you were going to react, to see if there are actually humans that have the capability of looking out for their best interest, and not, most of the crazy politicians and military and everything else knowing what they're capable of doing and probably would do. So in my impression, in having that conversation, you passed that test and they know it.
Yeah. Yeah, I still, I kind of agree with Tony that it was a test, but I think there may have been some reality to this. I just felt like part of this is a memory. I don't know what happened. It could have been on a whole different dimension, but your feelings, your emotions there, Annie, are so real. And then your physical pain was so real. It really, it seems like more of a memory, a test and a memory.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a dream to me at all. It felt like an experience. Mm-hmm. It felt like an experience. And maybe it was in an alternate dimension that it occurred. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of known for hopping and skipping around dimensions. I seem to do it with relative ease, or it just happens. But it was, when Tony just asked me, or had, just talked about the sensation. Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted to tell you about it was not just, to share it again with our viewers, those who might not have heard about it before, but also, that for me is a prime example of higher love. I would have done anything, and I mean anything, to protect this beautiful little being with the almond-shaped black onyx eyes staring up at me with love and trust and hope that I would protect him. And I don't know why I knew it was a boy, but I did. I knew it was male. Mm-hmm. And I will never, ever forget that for the whole rest of my life. Mm-hmm. It was literally like a mind-blowing, shape-shifting kind of an experience for me.
Yeah.
That was unlike anything I've ever experienced. And, just when I think, oh God, what else could possibly happen? Really?
But that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And when I say memory, Annie, have you thought that that could have possibly been a totally different physical lifetime for you? And possibly you weren't even human. I mean, in earthly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could have been
I didn't
your
think
son. That could have been your son.
Thank you for planting that seed.
You're welcome.
No, it's a good point, though. It's a good point.
It is. Yeah. It is, Tony. But no, really, I mean, Tony and I talked about this several times, and I still don't know what to make of it. I still don't know how to process it. But I do know that was absolutely at the pinnacle of an example of what I would be willing to do, what sacrifice I would be willing to make, and what power I possessed to stop anyone from harming him.
Yeah. And that power was love.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was love. Have you thought about regression?
No.
To explore?
No, I'm too busy dealing with depression. I don't want to do regression now. There's too many Eshens going on in my life at one time.
Well, it might be a good thing. You might learn something that...
And here we have
helps.
Obsession. Obsession. Right there. Oh, baby. There's no sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go back to sleep on the nice soft pillow. Boom. She's gone. It's been a long day for Peanut. The princess has had a long, arduous day.
Aww. Doing what? What did the princess do today?
Oh, same thing she does every day.
Oh.
Runs around, barks at squirrels, chases the birdies, runs around, plays with Sammy, eats the cat food that she stole out of the back room because it's not up high enough and she's just tall enough to get her tongue in the bowl.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. We're going to she's gained a few pounds, couple of pounds since we've been here. I blame my mother, who doesn't have an ounce of Italian blood in her. And yet, Mamma Mia, you would think she was an Italian grandma. Mangia, here's some pasta, here's some sauce, here's some Mom, if you put one more thing of anything in my dog's mouth, so help me God. But today I told her, I said, I'm going to have to go back to Florida if you keep feeding my dog like that. And suddenly the food that was just about at her lips, she pulls back. I said, well, you have to give it to her now, Mom. You have to give her that piece of chicken now. You can't just put it to her lips and then jerk it back because I'm threatening to leave. We laughed. Oh, my God. And then we played Scrabble because, Scrabble.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
She's the queen of Scrabble.
She is. And the princess laid on her pillow, on her delicate fur pillow, and watched us. And it's going to snow here on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Probably Sunday morning, maybe Sunday morning. I don't think anything will stick. The ground's too warm. But that would be pretty on Super Bowl Sunday to have a little bit of, a little bit of Mother Nature.
Yeah, we have a little bit of snow. It's not bad.
You haven't had a lot of snow this winter.
No.
We've
honestly had more rain here
than
snow.
I broke a nail. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sorry, I keep putting it in my mouth because, I can't believe I did it.
I know.
Raking billions and billions of acorns from a 250-year-old water oak in the backyard of this place. Oh, what a job. What a job. So anyway, love is the answer to every single question. I'm convinced of it. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I even need to convince anyone else of it. I think it should be obvious to everybody that the common denominator is love.
Yeah, it really is. And if we steer away from that, that's when trouble starts.
Yeah.
And we know, politically on this planet right now, that happened. Yeah. We had people move in to politics that were not loving, were very greedy, very hateful. And it really, those pebbles were horrible. And the waves are still continuing.
Yes.
We're still trying to heal from that. But wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of impact. And it's not only the United States of America, it's across the whole planet.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. It's across the whole planet. And I think that, we've talked so much about over the years, the perpetual conflict between darkness and light and good and evil. And it is, one cannot exist without the other until we spiritually ascend into the realization of oneness. And I've always said that the only way that I think that can happen is that something has to happen to all of us at once to create the conversion, to begin the conversion. And I thought that was COVID, because every single one of us was equally susceptible to a deadly disease that masquerades as nothing in one host and the end of life in the next, with no it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't. We're all equally vulnerable to it. I really did think it was COVID. And then George Floyd was murdered. And then the next thing, and the next thing. And then Beirut blew up because of ignorance and neglect, blew up a city on this planet. And ICBMs are being lobbed around, from a maniac in North Korea. And cruise missiles are being lobbed into Zaporizhia, that has the largest nuclear power plant in Western Europe in it, which could not be more vulnerable than it is. and on and on and on and on. And, I didn't even mention a violent insurrection and political coup that almost succeeded in the United States.
Right.
And, I think it's fair to ask. What the fuck is going on? Is this what the shift has to look like? Is this the holy shift where we're dealing with racial issues? We're dealing with, the overturning of Roe v. Wade that we thought was sacrosanct, that was codified in law, period, over, out, been around for 50 years. And now suddenly all women of childbearing age in this country are subject to the whims of male politicians predominantly, who are deciding what they can and cannot do with their uterus.
Right.
My head exploded and I knew it was coming, and my head still exploded. And, you get to a point where it's really hard to love your fellow man.
It's our test.
And here's the test. Really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like Greta booked me to do a Paracon in Kansas City, Missouri, sometime this summer. I don't remember when. And I texted back to her. She was traveling and she was in an airport. So I texted her and I said, okay, I haven't been to Missouri yet. I'll do it because Zaffis is going. But if I hang out with him too much, I'm going to get a really bad reputation. But that said, I said, bring bail money. And she said, because of Zaffis? I said, no, because of Josh Hawley. Because she had to quick Google the name. Mr. in front of the Capitol building.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, he's running like a scared little girl through the halls, trying to find a place to hide. And she said, okay, so like if you ran into him, what would you do? I'm like, don't ask me questions like that. Don't ask me questions like that, because there's just bring bail money. Make sure there's bail money. And we laughed and laughed and laughed, because I wouldn't harm a fly. Oh, my God. I mean, I literally take flies out of the house and release them out into nature.
Right. You wouldn't harm a fly, but a human that, I'm not so sure, Annie.
Yeah. This is lessons for all of us, Deb.
Oh, absolutely.
I know you're as conflicted about things as I am. This is part, I think, of being a spiritual warrior for peace, which is not counterintuitive. It's not. There are things worth fighting for. Your fellow human being when they're in crisis or in trouble is one of those things. Democracy is one of those things for me. I think it matters. It's like, how much pain can we withstand and still hang on to universal love? I feel like that's part of the test. So hard, but so worth it. Yeah, Erin.
Exactly.
Okay, you know what?
I love that girl. And she's so right. So hard, but so worth it.
And you know how come she can be so zen? Do you know how come she can be so zen? Because she's tuned it all out. I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm incapable of it. And, kudos to her that she can find that really happy place. That's the only way she can do what she does. And I know you do the same thing Erin does. You bring in only as much as you can tolerate so that you don't lose you both do the same thing. You're both light workers. You're both energy workers.
Right. But I'm also a warrior.
But you are also a warrior, which I deeply appreciate.
There's a balance there.
Well, yeah, because I've got to have somebody, to call up and bitch to.
That's why I say, when you say I wouldn't harm a fly, I know you would not harm a fly, but a human that's causing harm to other humans or the planet, then we have to think again.
Well, I'm
I say
on the
take bail
record.
money.
I'm on the record. I've said it before and I will say it again. You want to stop the poaching and the destruction and the murder of the wildlife on this planet? Declare open season on the poachers and watch how fast it stops. And that doesn't make me evil. That doesn't mean that I disrespect human life. It's that I respect all life.
Yeah.
And the lions and the elephants and the giraffes and the tigers and the hippos and the rhinos and everything else has every right to exist on this planet,
right,
and enriches our experience of it. And so, you can stand on the mountaintop and scream, make it stop.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do to make it stop? What are you going to do about the scientists at Harvard University that are taking baby monkeys away from their mothers and sewing their eyes closed so that they can create sensory deprivation for these beautiful little babies who no longer know anything about how to interact or relate with their own family of monkeys, so that scientists who are sick, twisted individuals could do something like this to an animal? How do you, before you sew those eyes closed, did you look into them for just a second? Did you not see the soul that's connected in there? Oh my God, the letters I wrote, the phone calls I made to Harvard University. I'm like, don't ever expect another dime from me. Don't ever expect another, don't ever, 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 because this is sick and twisted. And instead of making a contribution to that higher education seat of so-called learning, I sent my money to people for the ethical treatment of animals.
Right. And, you want to ask them, would you do that to your own child?
Right.
Because it's the same thing. Humans are not above. Our lives are not more precious than the life of any other being. If you wouldn't do that to your own child,
then don't do it to anything else, two legs or four.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. And so I get really, 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 really pissed sometimes, all the time. Not sometimes, let's clarify. All the time, on some level, I'm really angry about something. But I also believe that that's also love. That my anger is a form, it's an expression, it's one expression of my love of the planet and my love of the creatures on it and my love of my fellow human beings. And anyone that disrupts or deliberately harms or destroys anything is anathema to me.
Right.
So the big question is, how do I love them too? How do I love them too? I mean, I guess I can love them in like the big picture, the way that you talk about big picture, love everybody, love. But if I was placed in a room with Vladimir Putin, I would sacrifice my life to try to claim his, to make it stop. I would. So that either makes me dangerous or it makes me so loving that I would sacrifice myself to save others. And I feel that way. That passion. Yeah. I mean, the passion, hatred. How can hatred be part of love? Yeah. How can it be?
Well, hating the acts, hating the hatred hating the hatred is, I think, different than the type of hate that some of those things and some of those people are causing. You know, that type of person is creating more harmful hate.
Yeah. This is the paradigm shift, Deb.
It is. It is. And, I strongly feel, Andrea, that a lot of this has happened to bring this yuck to the surface so that we can see it, so that we know what goes and what does not.
So it can be cleansed by the light.
Right.
What is toxic is being brought to a boil to the surface.
Right.
And it's hard. It's painful. It's so painful. I can't tell you the anxiety, I know it was funny. We were playing with, regression, possession, oppression, depression, but I really do feel all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. And I wonder sometimes if feeling so much love that it makes you hate anything that is an anathema to it is healthy.
Right.
If I don't know how to approach it any other way. I've never gone through anything like this in my life. These last few years have been like walking on hot coals.
Yeah.
I can't sleep. I can't eat right. My hands are ringing all the time. Thank God for Peanut. Oh, thank God. Peanut fell into my lap. Like practically, literally, the universe just said, here, you need a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Just a couple of weeks before the World Health Organization declared COVID a global pandemic. And somebody, this little soul that I needed to take care of and heal and make whole. And she became the focus of, my affection and my attention. And I swear to God, I saved her and she saved me right back, Deb.
Absolutely.
She saved me right back.
Yeah. You needed her.
Well,
and she needed you.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Well, she's sleeping right now. She'd say hi, except it's been a long day. Long day. There were lots of leaves and acorns to clean up, and even
birds to bark at,
and birds to chase, and birdies, and there was even a gopher in the yard.
Oh, geez.
I didn't know we had gophers, and I lived here for 7 years while I was writing my books. I still didn't know we had gophers until today.
Oh dear.
I know. The cute little Dickens. Oh my God, they're so cute. They look like little prairie dogs almost. They're so adorable. Okay, so I need to, and I don't want you to be embarrassed about this. And if I overstep, put your hand in the air. Okay?
Okay.
I just want you to listen for a moment.
Okay.
There are very few people who would have done what you did for your friend to take in 2 special needs adult women into your home in the midst of everything else that you're going through. And I don't think it's a secret that, people know that RJ has been struggling and has, had time in the hospital. And, this has been a very difficult holiday season and beyond for you. And in the midst of all of that, you went to Indiana, I believe, to pick these women up after their mother died.
Well, it was Southern Indiana. I ended up not going because I didn't want to leave RJ. He was terribly sick at that time. So I was able to
make arrangements.
Arrangements, get a U-Haul. I hired a U-Haul and some people to drive them up here. So I got them here, but I didn't have to make that trip, thank God, because I was so torn.
Yeah.
So torn.
But you took them into your home.
Yeah.
and they're going to need services. They're going to need a proper placement. I know that, not that, there's anything improper about your lovely home, but you can't take this on for the rest of your life, Deb.
No.
I mean, you have already made a commitment to rescue them from a very bad situation. And I know that you will care for them for as long as it takes to find exactly the right fit for both of them. Yeah. But very few people would extend themselves in this way, especially for someone that was not a blood relative. Friendship is a wonderful thing, but you are the living embodiment of the redefinition of it, where it becomes something that's, you're all heart. You're all heart. I want to be just like you when I grow up. I want to evolve into a place, and I'm almost there. But I don't know if I could have done what you did, if I could have taken on that massive responsibility, all of the expense that's involved with, was all out of pocket for you. That is an enormous commitment and act of love, what you did for these two women who need you like air to breathe. I know you will always be a part of their lives. I know that when you find the right and proper place for them, that you'll make sure that you know exactly how they're doing and that they will see you and that you will be a permanent fixture in their lives. Very few people are willing to come on, Deb. When COVID hit, everybody went to the shelters, and it was almost like rent a pet. They let these animals think that they were going to their forever homes, and then as soon as they went back to work, they dumped them back at the shelter and said, thanks for the companionship for the last year, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we're dealing with, unfortunately, is a mindset of, I'm the center of the universe. Everything else can be a satellite that revolves around me. And when it ceases serving my purposes or needing my needs, it's a big fat dump job. I got issues with that. Very few people would have done what you've done. And
I feel like anybody in my position would have done exactly what I did.
Well, I would like to think in a perfect world, in a utopian society, that would be the truth. But unfortunately, I think that we're living in a day and time and age where there's a great deal of greed and selfishness that seems to have, there's a sense of separation that has occurred for a wide variety of reasons. And it's an illusion. We are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. This illusion of separation is causing us great harm as a society and as a race.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see us evolving quickly enough to save ourselves and save this planet. And so I naturally feel, as you do, a tremendous sense of urgency that we need to help people change their mind, have a meeting of the minds, and help people change their mind about their expectations, what they want out of life, what they're willing to give and put into their relationships, and what they think it's all about. I once saw a meme of a man that had a huge stone heart that was tethered to a wire, and he was trying to pull it up the side of a mountain, kind of like Sisyphus, who rolled the ball up the mountain and it tumbled down the other side, and he had to go back and do it all over again. And this particular image, even though it was really like a cartoon, it really spoke to me. And sometimes I feel like, you can have a heart as big as the moon, but if you allow life to turn it to stone, then what kind of burden is that to bear? Because you can't separate yourself from your bleeding heart, where you want to save everything and heal everyone, to a heart that's cold stone granite and weighs 1 billion pounds, and you still have to carry that around. It really spoke to me. Yeah. So, Deb, what's the answer to all of this? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Tell me. Just solve it all right now.
Solve it all. I think everything overall, we are warriors. We are love. We are light. We are darkness. We're in a new age of Aquarius. And there's so many things happening. And as I said, clarity is coming to the surface. We're seeing things so differently.
Yeah.
It's a process. And that's what's so hard for you and I and many other empaths out there, is this process. We want it now. We want to fix everything now. And it can't be that way. But if we give into it, then we're prolonging it. If we move forward with it, if we give it love and stand up and fight when we need to fight, damn it.
Yeah. Raise your voice.
We have to. We have to be the voice for the voiceless.
I know. I really do believe silence is tacit approval.
Right.
If you see something that requires your attention, and damn it, say something.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have to. So finding that balance of, do I love, do I hate, do I, it's all there. It's all right in the gut, and you feel it in the gut when you knew you had to protect that little gray being enough that you used every piece of power you had in your hands to build
power I didn't know I had,
that you didn't know you had.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about, is
manifestation.
Yeah. So you have to have that determination and that passion, and even taking these girls. And as I said, I feel like this is something that anyone in my position would do. I couldn't let them die. I have to. I can't live with me if I just leave them there knowing they won't survive. They will not survive if somebody doesn't step in and save them. The same thing with your little gray being. He would not have survived had you not protected him. So we have to be that warrior. We have to get angry sometimes. And we have to stand up for what's right and be the voice of the voiceless. But we also have to keep those love pebbles going. And every opportunity we get, we have to throw a pebble of love and know it's going across the whole entire universe.
Yeah.
Because we are intertwined with every being in this entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
We're all one.
Yeah, we are.
And if we fuck it up for one, we're fucking it up for all. So
that's right. Well, because every one of us is that filament, that thread in the grand tapestry of life, of existence.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a disturbance in the force.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. I mean, that has shaken this earth to its core.
Mm-hmm.
That has, she's crying glaciers,
Yeah.
tears pouring, glaciers turning to water. Just the piece of slab that fell off of Greenland about 2 months ago, coupled with the one that's about to break off, if it hasn't already, from Antarctica, is predicted to raise the world sea level by like 2 feet. So either start building levees really fast or kiss Venice goodbye. Kiss New Orleans goodbye. Charleston, Savannah, part of New York. I mean, what are we going to do, Deb? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
We're killing our mother.
One by one, we all have to, as many who are willing, has to do our part. But we also have to realize, and I think you're going to agree with me, Annie, that this is why we're seeing more and more and more and more galactic presence
absolutely
around this planet.
Yeah,
is because we are destroying it, and they are helping some of us, bringing awareness, bringing tools, the technology, the love. They are helping us. Can they solve it? I don't think that they have the permission to walk in and fix everything.
No.
But they're helping us. And again, I feel like it's a process.
We have to save ourselves from ourselves. It's the whole chicken and the egg thing. You can't break that egg open and allow that baby chick to escape. If it doesn't work its way out of its own egg, it won't build the strength that it requires to live on the outside of the egg.
Right.
So they can't do it for us, but they can make their presence known to such an extent that it activates those of us who have had experiences and are now suddenly courageous enough to share them, not giving a damn who says what about it. We're just two of a multitude of people who have had these experiences over the course of our lifetime, Deb. I mean, you and I both have memories from childhood of experiences that profoundly, our personal paradigm shift took place 50, 60 years ago. So we were kids and we knew that we were different, and we knew that there was something else in the universe, and we weren't sure what it was because we were kids. But we knew it was something, and it was important, and that we were part of it. And we've spent our entire lives knowing that. And now we're at a place where we have a forum. We have a way to express ourselves in a loving way, even when we're, cursing and right. It's my show. It's my show.
We curse with love.
Yeah, we curse with love. Yes, we do. We do. I love these words. Part of our vernacular, our paranormal patois.
That's right. They bring more passion to them, for sure. Well, I just want to say real quick, we had Preston Dennett on our show last night on Mystical Awakenings. And one of his books that, I read years ago and then started rereading this year is all about ET healings. And he has stories in there, over 300 healing acts that, that have been reported to him. Of course, many more now. But that shows the level of love that they have for us.
That's right.
And for our planet. So we have to have some faith that, yes, they are helping us. And yes, there's hope. There is hope.
There has to be hope, because why be here otherwise?
Exactly.
Look at the tens of thousands, millions of people in Turkey and Syria tonight that are sitting in sub-freezing weather over, if they're lucky, around a fire. No food, no water, and they're the lucky ones. They survived. Yeah. Hoping that their families will come out from beneath the rubble. Now they deal with the loss. Now they deal with the grief that corresponds precisely to the love.
Mhm.
And what we must do tonight as we close out the show, Deb, is come together in mind, a meeting of the minds. Thoughts are things.
Yeah.
And pray across the world
Yeah.
that we will know peace, that we can comfort those in deep grief and terrible pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual.
Right.
I've often said that being who I am is a blessing and a curse. I know you feel the same way. It's overwhelming. It's extraordinary obligation.
Mhm.
But I really wouldn't want to live any other way, and I wouldn't want to be any other kind of person than open and pure of heart, even if that makes me gullible or vulnerable. The same is true of you. We are one.
Yeah.
We are of one mind, one heart, one soul, and one wish for all of mankind and all creatures great and small on this magnificent living planet we call Gaia. And so tonight, with love in our hearts, with having touched upon virtually every definition of that word tonight, I wish everyone the happiest Valentine's Day. Let every day be Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Let every day be the day that you show everyone how much you love them, how much you care, because tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't promised to any of us. So with that, my darling, I embrace you from afar.
I love you, and I love everybody out there. And I just beg all of you, think of those pebbles before you throw them. Put some love in there.
Yeah.
And thoughts are things, thoughts are pebbles.
Yes, thoughts are things. I will see you before September, I feel certain.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, and let me
you.
know when you're having another women's retreat, and I'll advertise it for you, and I might even hop a plane and make a little trip up, because I'm sure needing my Deb. I'm needing my Deb.
I'm needing my Andrea.
Yeah.
And I believe the next one will be the weekend of May 20th. But
Oh shit! I'm going to be in Ohio. Oh God.
Oh, you're only a state away, so maybe we'll do it in Ohio.
Okay.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. I love you dearly. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us tonight on A World Awakening. And I end tonight's show the way I end Soul School every week. Be hopeful, dare to have faith, and always be the light you seek. I love you. Good night.